Hi, I decided it would be a good idea to record a video. I'm sorry it's a bit poor quality. I'm recording it on a laptop that's a little bit old, so apologies for the quality. So I wanted to record a video because of all the stuff that's going on with the COVID-19 virus and all the changes that it's causing. Now, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh my God, there's so many videos out there already, and there's a hell of a lot of information out there. So I'm really honoured if you decide to listen to what I have to say. I think what I have to say is a bit different from other things that are generally I've seen out there, and you'll understand why if you listen to the whole of the video. So we're in very interesting times at the moment. I've personally, and I'm sure as a lot of you have been as well, I've been through a whole rainbow of emotions and things going on in your life right now. I'm settling down a bit more now. I've had to still work despite everything because I'm considered a key worker. I've got my own opinions on that. But anyway, so I've been watching a few of the said videos and such like of various kind of spiritual communities, if you like, and things like that, and reading what other people in the spiritual community, witches, shamans, and so forth, have kind of been saying about the virus. And a lot of us are all singing from the same song sheet, really, and saying how this is a new beginning for the earth ultimately when this is all over, and the world is just never going to be the same again. So personally, what my own conclusions are about the lessons of what this virus is trying to teach us, what this situation is trying to teach us at the moment. It's very, very coming from Mother Earth, Pachamama, and the particular lessons seem to be compassion, gratitude, kindness, and non-judgment. We have to be compassionate for others right now. We need to be considering other people and how vulnerable they might be, even if we're not afraid of the virus ourselves. We need to be caring towards other people that could be life or death for them. We need to be kind to ourselves and others, and it's certainly teaching me gratitude. I'm so grateful when I can actually find something in the supermarket that I want now. I'm grateful that, unlike in some of the other countries that are experiencing this, I can go to work and I have to get on the train and then on the tube, and I get to work. I don't get stopped by the police so far, in any case. Certainly don't get threatened as they do in other countries. So I've read, as I say, I'm so grateful when I can find a loaf of bread or the milk that I want to drink. It makes me very, very, very grateful, and I'm so grateful, for what our lives are like, the people in our lives that we can't see at the moment. As we all know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And all the things that we normally just take for granted so much. It's really making me feel so grateful for those things right now. And really not judging people as well, which is probably the hardest one of them all. So they're basically the lessons, and also love. I think that is one of the biggest things of all. Is we really need to love each other. It's Thursday evening, so at the moment here in the UK, every Thursday at 8 o'clock people are coming outside of their houses to clap for the NHS and also all the key workers. And, it's really beautiful. I just think it's lovely, all these people coming outside and coming together kind of as a community and supporting other people in the country like that. It is really, really wonderful. And, I hope that this gratitude for them will carry forth into when things change, and that gratitude will turn into physical actions. Yeah. So anyway, one of the things that I watched recently was like a Zoom call that was with all tribal elders from around the world. And yeah, it was really, really inspiring. And there was a woman on there that I listened to, and it just created a fire in my belly because it just felt so true and right. And it was about how the divine feminine is rising, and as women, we are the ones with the compassion, and it's time for us to step up and birth this new world into being. Yeah, so she was basically saying that as women, we need to share whatever messages we receive from Mother Earth, and share them with everyone. It's so important right now. So that really inspired me, and I felt that since I heard that, to make the conscious effort every day to communicate with Mother Earth. Obviously, because of the lockdown, we've been allowed here to go out once a day for exercise. We're very lucky where we live that there's an open space just down the road. So we've been going there quite regular. So yeah, of course that's one way. But other things I've been doing, because it hasn't always been possible for me to go out into nature on a daily basis. As I said, I'm still working at the current time. So I've been doing things like journeying and drumming and doing whatever I can to see what messages I can receive from Mother Earth. And I journeyed a few days ago, and I was quite surprised, I guess, in a way, on the message that I got given. It was about, you bleed for the earth, and how even women that no longer bleed, in fact, they're actually more connected with the earth. They're completely connected with the earth. So every time we bleed, we're not only bleeding for ourselves, we're bleeding for the earth. Some of the pain that we feel is Mother Earth's grief. Of course ours as well, but part of it is us, our connection with the earth. In the past, time was measured by women bleeding. That's how they knew a month had passed. This was, this literally blood was and is life. Now, if you're feeling triggered by what I'm talking about, then I have to ask you to ask yourself, why are you feeling triggered by me talking about menstruation? It's a perfectly natural process that we need to connect with far more. Now, this is not to belittle women that have painful periods or huge problems with periods and things like that. Not at all. I send you lots of love if that is what you experience. And, obviously in those cases, yes, you need to deal with those as best as you can in whatever way that might be for you. But I think even if you do experience that, then even more so, you need to send that love to yourself and to your womb, because the more angry we get with our womb and upset we get with our womb and we blame the womb, then all that emotion is just gonna it's just not going to be good, basically, and not make the situation any better. So when we can, on the times perhaps where you're not bleeding and you're okay, you can just put your hands onto your womb and just say in your mind or out loud if you choose, no, I love you, I honour you. Simple things like that. Just begin to start to send love to your womb and respect your womb, and make space for it to release that pain. Now, I'm not saying that's a cure or anything, but it will certainly help to begin to change that relationship between yourself and your womb. So, anyway, so what has all this got to do with the coronavirus? I bet you're thinking. So, yeah, the interesting thing, now I don't know how true this is, but it's certainly floating around a little bit on the internet, is there was a Hopi legend that actually said, when all the women bleed upon the earth, the men shall come home from war. So it's a message of peace. And what do we need in the world right now? And certainly with this current situation, peace. Now, obviously, it's not practical for women to go and bleed on the earth. Definitely not. But as I say, connecting back to our cycles, connecting back to the earth, that's what we can do. We can love and respect our cycle and our wombs, go back to living with our cycles. Every week of our cycle, we experience a different side of ourselves, if you like. We're like 4 women in one as each week passes. So when our bleed comes and we're feeling more tired, give ourselves more rest. When we begin to feel more energized, then use that time to do all those productive things. When we're premenstrual, also giving ourselves a bit of a break, but also that's a great time for creativity. There's lots and lots of info on the internet about living with your cycle, but also you can contact me if you want to know more details about that. So, so when I was thinking about the bleeding for the earth, I started thinking about how every single person, no matter what gender, what colour, what class, what sexuality, what job they do, all the people all around the world, we all bleed. I mean, we don't all bleed, but we all have the blood. We all have the red blood. So we're all connected. We're all one because we all share the same blood. And I think that's a really important thing to remember. We really are all one. So that inspired me to write this poem. I say write quite a lot when I write poetry now. Sometimes it just falls out of me, so it feels more like a channeling. This one, I guess, was kind of part channeled and part written. Some of it just flew out, but partly I had some influence. But anyway, I'm going to read it to you now. So I haven't really titled it yet, but I think probably The Power of Our Blood would be a good title. So let me read that for you now. I bleed for the earth, I bleed for the birth of the new. I bleed for the women. I bleed for the men. I bleed for the people to be reunited. I bleed for compassion. I bleed for love. I bleed for peace. Different colours outside, but the same inside. I bleed for the dream. I bleed for the vision. I bleed to remember that we are all one. Blood connects us. Blood is family. Blood is friends. Blood is you. Blood is me. Blood is the neighbours, the healers, the doctors, the teachers, the plumbers, the dustmen, the cleaners. Blood is the homeless, the refugees, the poor. Blood connects us all. Let us remember this truth, and we will bleed together for peace, not war. Aho.